right. Today is episode 10 of our TrainX.ai podcast. And I think we are officially saying Happy New Year on this episode because I'm pretty sure it's our first one of the year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody.
We only like 2 months late. Uh,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
am
Yeah.
I'm excited actually. We had a lot going on last month, so we are back trying to be in full force. We actually have our YouTube page. We're going live to YouTube for the first time today, for this podcast in particular. All the other podcasts typically go to their pages. So now moving forward, you will be able to find episodes at youtube.com/@trainxai. So without further ado, I am Jessica here as always with Mac.
And
You
I'm
got like
Mac.
the skull cap thing going on
Yeah,
today?
today, man, I'm trying. Orange is my favorite color. For those who don't know, every entity that me and Jessica have started, I've added orange until we did the book stuff, and she's like, "No, we're not
No
doing orange
orange.
on no orange book." So in retaliation, I am wearing an orange Scully today. So glad to be here, Jessica. Good to
Oh.
see you.
Yeah, we were supposed to wear our jackets. I forgot. We'll do it next time. I found my
Yeah, that's
old
true.
Train X jacket from when we were doing our programs back in like what 2018, somewhere around there, 2019.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were okay. So Mac, you brought up this idea, and I thought it was really good to talk about. Um, all the crazy things that are going on with Google and Gemini. Gemini is the new model that they are pretty much basing a lot of their generative AI tools on, but also Gemini is bringing like a lot to the different Google services, whether it be Google Workspace or Google Cloud Platform. And then there's also some interesting partnerships that are going on right now too. So we wanted to kind of chat on some of that today. I know we both probably have a little bit of a different perspective on some of the things that we've been seeing. Personally, I just got finished with the Google Startup School Gen AI series they did for like 6 weeks. It was twice a week for 6 weeks, and they covered a lot about the Vertex AI platform, a lot of the generative AI tools. They also talked about best practices, and I mean, your mind would be blown, I'm sure, Mac, if you see some of the ways that the developer tooling has like advanced since when we first started trying to, bring ML into some projects a few years ago. So I'm definitely excited to talk about that aspect. And I know you probably have seen some things that you're interested in too.
Yeah. So, I'm a Google Workspace customer. And what was the interesting thing for me this morning was that I was looking at my Gmail like I always do. And what I saw was the fact that now I can say it says try Gemini. And I'm
Oh,
like, well, what is that? What does that mean? So what I got a lot going on over here, y'all, today. So I looked and I was like, how do I like what does this all mean? And I didn't want to click on it until like we talked today. But I clicked on it and I'll kind of show you what I see here. I'm gonna add my screen to the thing here. So
yeah.
as a Google Workspace customer, what is interesting to me, this is a little bit on the business side. We can talk about the technical side a little bit, but like Google was immediately monetizing. In order for you to have Gemini, I thought it was going to be, when they say try, I thought it was going to be free. You know what I mean? For a little bit, but it was like immediately, if you want to add it to our workspace, it's an add-on and it's $14 per user per month. And I guess they're giving me like a deal. Like you can see the 24 is actually X'd out here and it gave me $14. So Google immediately is jumping into this space and trying to dominate it based on the number of people that are using Google Workspaces. And last thing about this is that I didn't buy this, right. So I thought about it. I was like, I don't really need this. Maybe I'm gonna go maybe look at my free Gmail account and play with it. But I do what most people do. I went to YouTube and I watched a video about it, and it's pretty awesome actually of you can do. So basically, one of the things that caught my eye in this video was that um, if I'm looking for a particular email, which we all do, sometimes it's just a pain. I can actually ask Gemini, hey, can you provide me the email from last year that's about this, and this is what they said in the example, and bullet point the 5 most important points of it.
Mm.
And in the example, it did it. Um, so anyway, I thought that was interesting. And I think just in general, Google's gonna definitely be a definite competitor in this space.
Yeah, it's funny. So you've been calling me the the Google girl, which I
Hmm.
feel like I have been on their bandwagon lately. But like I said, because we got started in this space like around 20. I think I took my first like machine learning class in 2017. That was when they first started doing the nano
TensorFlow.
degrees for
Oh yeah,
Udacity. Yep, you were doing
yeah.
TensorFlow back then. And then when we first started using the different tools, I mean, the libraries were there, the frameworks were there, but the thing that what Google is building in Google Cloud Platform is so good. Like they're literally taking all of these advanced machine learning, like all of the advanced development and training that you would have to kind of set up. Even with a framework, you would still have to do a lot of that process, and they're turning it into like configs, GUI config, like what type of GPU do you want? Do you want a GPU or not? Like which model are you using? And then you can do a bunch of different types of tuning on the different models. Of course, Gemini is the big one right now, but they still have plenty of other models. But on top of just building out that tooling so that we're more easily able to train or fine tune some models, and then we're more we can easily actually like manage the development process of or the life cycle of the model, right? They also have they have AI, Gen AI built into into the GCP platform. So there's a tool called Duet AI. I don't know if you've seen anything about Duet AI, but Duet AI is basically having that chat feature
Hmm.
directly inside of Google Cloud Platform. And so when you are able to use Duet inside of GCP, you can ask very specific questions about the actual cloud services, and be able to get the right direction on which services you might want to use, how you should configure them, etc. Excuse me, et cetera, et cetera. So you can even imagine. I'm gonna see if I can bring up my console just to kind of show y'all some of the stuff I've been playing around with. But I'm just like, I can't help but nerd out because I know how complicated a lot of this stuff could be. So for example, reinforcement learning with human feedback. We've heard about this process, and um a way of like making our models more accurate, give a human the opportunity to say yay or nay to this. It's literally, if you want to add that into your workflow in Google Cloud, it's like it's a job that you can just set up automatically. It routes all the services the way they need to go. Like it's crazy. It's blowing my mind.
Yeah, I just I went over to I'm a Google Cloud customer too, and but I never looked at this. So this is the dashboard I think you're referring to. I think maybe I don't know, but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
this is the Vertex AI. So this is pretty dope. So all the different things you can do. I think the first I haven't played with any of this by the way. So I'm obviously me and Jessica's working on a project, so I'm pretty sure we'll be playing with this soon. But it looks like it really lays this out well for what you need to do. So this collab enterprise looks like the old notebook kind of experience that you have. This is a new notebook experience with enterprise grade privacy. So that's kind of cool. And look at the models you can deploy, use, manage your models in Vertex online prediction, batch predictions, vector search to match semantically. Yeah, this is pretty. This is pretty. They've been doing work, Jessica.
They've
So
been putting in work, and you will see. So like as you get in there, you will see what I'm talking about. Like why I've just been like on their bandwagon lately, because um it's just as a lot. I think we're moving into this phase where a lot more of us need to put ML into production for like the first time, second time. We're really trying to, and also stay on the industry leading side of whatever implementations we're using. And what I've really appreciated from the bigger tech companies is them being developing the developer tools like they typically would, and really making it a lot easier for those of us with the small teams to be able to come in and say, hey, I know it's supposed to be done this way. I don't have the expertise to necessarily build this from the ground up. And then be able to go into the platform and use the services just like we've always been able to do for everything else within software when it comes to the cloud platform. So I could definitely see this phase bringing Google back to the forefront, Google Cloud platform back to the forefront, because AWS has been like probably the market leader from my experience. And then Azure is kind of Azure. Like if you have to deploy something that's Microsoft based, then you're going to be on Azure. And now Azure more it has the native, open AI APIs with their partnership. So I love to see that there's more out there for us as developers to really bring this into our own projects.
Yeah, this is pretty impressive, I must say. And a lot of these foundational models, they're obviously they're pre-trained, but it looks like you can also you can further tune and customize for specific tasks, right? So the
Yeah.
model like so this are available in Vertex AI Studio. Now there are a lot of tools though, like so it looks like there's the models, and then so you have these models, and then you also have this thing called Vertex AI Studio. Um
Hmm.
so it looks like this is going to be Google's version of probably Visual Studio for AI. It looks like, it sounds like to me, so
Yeah, the Visual Studio. Okay, so here, let me show
or-
you. I'm
okay,
gonna
I
take
can
this
stop sharing.
one real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah, I can stop sharing.
I got it. Because I have a bunch of
Okay.
this stuff working already, but they basically what you were mentioning is like you said, Workbench and Colab, that's more for notebooks. That's really helpful as well, because this is a whole nother topic to think about. Is you can't really train models on your computer, after a certain size. It's not practical. I don't care how fancy your computer is.
Mhm.
And so they're enabling this, ability to be able to develop directly on the cloud. So I think that'll be interesting. And so one of the features they have in here, they have something called the it's like a Google console, Google code console. I'm gonna see if I can find it, but that is basically like a Visual Studio Code in the browser type of thing that's connected to your cloud environment, and you can, basically code, basically code with access to the cloud. So that's pretty interesting. And then, like you mentioned, the model garden. Model garden is where all of the different models exist, and there's so many. You can do different types of fine tuning on the models. The thing I nerded out about the most was the vector databases, vector search and vector databases. So the concept of with Gen AI is like contextually mapping things together, right? The similarities between the answers, not necessarily the keyword, having the same keywords. So they make it really easy to take the data that you have, convert your data over to the embeddings you would need, right? Because that for those that aren't familiar with it, embeddings is how you would display. This is how you would convert your data, or basically map your data in vector space. So they actually have models that do that convert your data to the proper embeddings. And then they also have the feature for you to be able to take those and easily store them in a vector database. It's really like I promise you, you could do it all on the dashboard without writing like a lick of code. Um, and so
You
it's
said
like
you
that's
said
what's
you
kind
said
of mind blowing to me.
a liquor code.
Like,
Okay.
not it's like I promise you, so you're gonna appreciate it, Mac. I'm telling you, just go in there, just try some stuff out. One of the things that I did recently, which was cloud. Okay. Cloudonair.withgoogle.com. Then they have /events and then startup-school-AI. So I'm going to put the link in the chat, but this is the course that I had been participating in over the past 6 weeks. They talked about this is really designed for developers, CTOs, product managers to understand more about generative AI and how to more practically apply Gen AI, best practices and things like that. So everything from um, talking about like prompt engineering all the way up to adapter tuning, being able to fine tune the models that they have, being able to easily take your data, convert it to vector embeddings, and use it in the vector search, deploy the vector search. They also had a lot of tools around the life cycle of the model, right? Deploying your models and then also being able to track and evaluate the models over time in the platform. So it's really really nice how they're thinking about it because they're offloading a lot of the heavy lifting. So you can get started with something that's a lot more complicated than we would have been able to put together in 5 years ago.
I guess my one thing is that if I have a set of data already and in a MySQL database, for example, do they have something that can move that data? Let they have it, or is it up to you? That's kind of out of scope. Basically, we just need to move the data over to Google for doing some processing on it.
I haven't gotten to dive into it too deep, but they do have BigQuery ML. And
Okay.
BigQuery ML is that's what that use case is more so designed around. Take MySQL database data and then train a model off of that. So I haven't seen exactly what all it takes, but that's like it's supposed to pretty much plug right into your MySQL database to be able to do that. And from what I've seen from all the Gen AI stuff, I would expect it to be really simple to configure. Simple is,
Yeah.
relative, but
That's the part I'm going to try because obviously these cloud providers, Google obviously included, is that the real for them is that they want to be able to be a kind of a one stop shop. Or if you're using Google today to host your database, they want to, I'm assuming they want to make it really easy so that you can take that data and start consuming it. Because you don't, any of these things, the whole goal, if you have all this data, you don't want to ship it around and move it around. Because if you're talking about large data sets, you're taking a lot of time to move data around. It's expensive to move large data sets around as well. So hopefully, it's something that either you can ingest it right into Google Cloud, or you can have some type of synchronization from your database to it. So I'll play around with that one. That'll be interesting to see what they have there.
yeah, that's the next one I'm gonna get to dive into. So I'm excited about that. But I just thought it was interesting. And then so we had a couple of articles come up too, and one of the articles was about Google getting Stack Overflow access to the Stack Overflow API, and that is they're literally the first partner that's going to be using Stack Overflow data and being able to bring that into their model training. So now this is a this is a whole nother bucket because that's going to open up, not only the option for us to be able to have Gen AI that's assisting us in Google Cloud platform, but
Mhm.
also, it's going to have direct access to all the Stack Overflow knowledge and trying to figure out how to, vet answers for us. Basically, like you said, make it a one-stop shop. So if I'm already in Google Cloud platform, I don't have to go to Stack Overflow to search for a specific answer. It's already kind of integrated in there for me in the platform. So it hasn't come out yet, but that was like fresh off the presses this morning. I think we both saw that on TechCrunch.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely are. I think when ChatGPT came out with their extensions, I don't think they had anything as powerful as this. This is definitely a this is a pretty I don't know, pretty interesting feature. This is a game changing feature. You know what I mean, for developers. If they were looking to win over developers, this is definitely one way uh, to do it, is by offering something up, because Stack Overflow is great, but it is hard to find stuff. You know what I mean? And search through it. So having something like this makes it uh, dope.
It was really I hadn't heard about Overflow AI, which is like their team with all their AI ML, like, research and projects, and how they're implementing this into their platform. So I was really like, I didn't have this on my radar at all until I saw the article earlier. So now I'm definitely going to be taking a look at Overflow AI, as well as I think if you look at Stack Overflow, they have like something called Labs, and you can see more information. They're posting articles and things like that. Some of the cool stuff that I saw them talking about was really simple too, like just thinking about, form give me a well formed give me a well formed question to post on Stack Overflow, because a lot of times, we struggle even with that, especially when you're newer to using it, making sure you're applying all the right information and stuff. So I'm looking forward to see how they incorporate this in, and I'm definitely going to keep up with the Stack Overflow labs now and the projects that they have coming up.
Yeah, yeah, this is dope. Yeah, this is definitely dope. What else you got? 'Cause I know we had this is a quick session we're having today. So
It's a
this is
quick
like
one
this,
tonight, but
this,
yeah.
this is this is a quick one, but it's like has all the good stuff on it. So we'll have to dive deep into each one of these at some point because there's just so much here. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, one of the biggest things I want to recommend right now, like I said, Google Cloud Startup School AI. I posted the link in the chat, and I'll go back and put the link in the description too for the YouTube um live stream. But they have so much good content here. It's like an hour and a half max for each session, and they're only going to keep this information up until May. And then I think they said in May, or I can't remember which month, but later on in the year they're going to do another round of this startup school. And I promise you, like, the presenters were so good. Of course, they're, technical curriculum developers, developer relations, some product ML engineers as well, just giving presentations on how to use these different tools. Like I said, best practices around them as well. So it's like all meat and potatoes. There's not a lot of fluff in the sessions, if anything. And then if you go through the session live, when we went through the session live, we got a bunch of Google Cloud credits. Well, it wasn't really cloud credits. We got credits for their cloud skills boost, Google Cloud Skills Boost. So you're able to go on Cloud Skills Boost and actually go through different labs and things that walks you through this environment. And I'm not sure how some of the other cloud platforms do their training, but Google has something called Quick Labs. So when you're in a particular lab, then you use the credits to spin up these lab environments. And the lab environments has everything you need. It basically is an easy way for you to access the console and everything you need in the console so that you can go through the lab properly. So I've been having a good time with that, and just kind of exploring more. Like I said, they did the Gen AI sessions. These will be up until May. And then the next session they're going to do, I think they said they're going to focus specifically on Gemini and creating chat bots and things like that. So I cannot wait. And I'm already signed up. I already got my time blocked off on my calendar. And I would definitely be following along with that series. So I highly, highly recommend that. I know they're not the only ones out there, but developers, we need to get our feet wet, and we need to figure out what's going on, get our hands dirty. So pick one and go with something.
I agree. I think this is super super dope. So more to come on this. So shameless plugs, and then let's close it out and give people back some time. What's your shameless plug for today?
I feel like I'm always saying the same stuff. I don't know. Um, Actually, right now, I'm just really trying to get training out there. So we're running the MVP developer training right now. That's
Mhm.
running live and also available for folks to sign up asynchronously. So artofmvpdevelopment.com. We have training there. We are putting more information about our book that's going to be releasing. So, not exactly AI specific, but I am looking to bring some AI features into the no code platforms and the MVP development for sure.
Yeah, I think that's dope. I think you know, I think the stuff that we do in MVP, the platform supports it. We just need to give people some very good examples of how to integrate it into their app so it makes sense and things of that nature. So yeah, I'm same thing. I'm the same, basically the art of MVP development is right now is the focus for me and getting our book out and things of that nature. So got to spend more time writing. But anyway, no, this has been an amazing set. This is probably one of the best sessions I've had. We knocked it out in regards to like all the different pieces and got people excited. So I'm hoping for the next time we meet, I'm gonna dig a little bit more into like moving data into Google Cloud. So that's all I have for tonight.
All right. Well, again, I'm grateful. It's the new year. It's been off to a very, very wild start, but we're always here and open ears if you have a topic that you think we should cover. Our AI topics are obviously here on the Train X AI podcast, and then more general developer topics over on the Hacking with the Homies podcast. Hacking with the Homies conference is going to be live in Detroit, May 11th, 2024. And we have more information about that on hackingwiththehomies.com. So we'll see you all for episode 11. And feel free to like or, share this episode wherever you are listening to it. And you can follow us on youtube.com/@ TrainXAI for future episodes. And maybe we'll do some more breakdowns and some other videos on there as we go further into the year. So I'm excited. I appreciate you all. And thanks for being with us.
Yep. Take care, y'all.